How's it going, everyone? Hope y'all been having a really good day so far. My name is Ward. Welcome back to Sigmas and Gamers. And today, it looks like we got some recent news that the Nintendo's Game Boy Color almost had internet, live streaming, and email. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into this very interesting take that Nintendo was going to have. So it starts off saying that an accessory was planned for Nintendo's Game Boy Color that would have allowed consumers the ability to surf the web, live stream, and use email. Nintendo's Game Boy and its semi-successor, the Game Boy Color, were released in a time when the internet was just starting to reach the masses and live streaming was something only to be dreamed of by innovating minds. And years before the oldest smartphones hit the market and the idea of having endless information in the palm of our hands, Nintendo came along with an unreleased accessory called the Page Boy. And this single add-on would have changed the gaming landscape and allowed the internet access that was unprecedented at the time. And video game historian Liam Robertson details the Page Boy in its newest video, uncovering lost images and information of the unreleased Game Boy Color add-on. Originally, the Page Boy was planned to use radio transmission technology to allow its users to access the web, read game magazines, weather reports, sports stats, and even watch live television. I gotta say, that sounds like the smartphones that we use in this day and age. So it would have been allowed its users to message and contact the others with the Page Boy as well, and using the same kind of technology that pagers use, hence the Page Boy's name. Nintendo was excited by the technology at the time, as it would truly put it to the precipice of the tech world, and essentially allowing the users access onto the first smartphone without the whole actual phone aspect. In 1999, Nintendo worked on the newly created group entitled Wizard to help kickstart the manage the device, working to see if the Game Boy Color add-on could indeed be created and if it would be profitable for the gaming giant. And ultimately, the Page Boy's reliance on radio transmission tech and its use of radio towers only really widely present in the United States killed any chance of the creation of the device. And while Nintendo was extremely impressed by users' ability to send images using the Game Boy camera and the company's own ability to send live video to Page Boy owners, radio transmission was going to severely limit the add-on's appeal. And Nintendo was adamant about the Game Boy's universal appeal and simplicity, and the Page Boy would ultimately work against that philosophy. The big end ended up scrapping the Page Boy's development in July 2002 after much deliberation, and of course the many aspects of the device went on to become extremely prevalent in modern society and in many of the Nintendo's devices that followed. Its live video idea eventually developed into the Nintendo Directs that fans are still receiving today, and the idea of sending messages and pictures to others would feature the Nintendo DS picture chat function and the Wii U's Miiverse. And still, it is mighty interesting that the Nintendo was considering tech that is now taken for granted for the Game Boy Color back in 1999, and it makes no wonder what other modern tech Nintendo has left on the cutting room floor in the past years. And I gotta say, this is actually pretty interesting, guys, and just thinking about this, like, if this is actually something that was very successful and actually it made it to the public around that time, I gotta say this would have changed the way we use technology today. Probably more likely, or may not be that much of a difference, but I gotta say we would have had like the original iPhone back in 2002 or 2003, like early 2000s instead of like 2007, and just like we had devices like these. Well, of course, this is not the original iPhone, but like one of the more current versions that I have. And I gotta say, pretty interesting stuff, and just all these ideas are like way ahead of their times, include like just surfing the internet at the palm of your hands, and also having the concept like live streaming that is now currently being used by Twitch, TV, and these other streaming websites. And of course, we also had email as well back in the day, like in the 90s, and also just live streaming and just like watching TV, like pretty much like watching entertainment like on a handheld device. It's just something that we're just currently doing right now in this day and age. and I gotta say, just like I don't know, just thinking about that and just how they just kind of like how to scrap so many ideas, like the fact that's kind of one of the things that makes Nintendo like the black sheep of the competition, to where instead of just like constantly going on with the more traditional home console and playing with the gamepad, they always like come up with new ways to actually play games, like starting like way back we had like with the Nintendo Wii and then the Wii U, and also the Nintendo Switch, to where that that console is more of a hybrid of a handheld and a home console, will just combine together, and now I just play a lot of these popular AAA games I usually play on a console. Now you can play in the palm of your hands, which I gotta say, like really cool stuff right there, and just I gotta say we have certainly come a long way since those times. And so that's going to be it for today's video, everyone, and if you found it to be helpful and informative, then be sure to drop a like as always, and subscribe for more content like this, and hit the bell to be notified when my next video is going to drop. And if your own thoughts or opinions based on this news of this possibility of the Page Boy coming, like actually was going to be like a thing at some point, I think, but didn't, due to kind of negative possibilities around that time, then go ahead and sign off the comment section below and get a discussion going. And thank you so much for watching. And as always, we will catch you all in the next one.